Hello everyone, welcome back to our Power Rangers vlog, the episode Break Free. Finally, this is the episode we were waiting for. The episode starts with the origin of the Knights of Zondor, which I discovered is a country and not the guy's name. His name is Ivan. Russian? Just saying. As they explain what's going on and we know what happened, and they try to keep it a mystery with the fact that he fought a knight dressed up in a cloak, which we all know is Fury. The only question is, why is he using his sword instead of a knight's sword? During this time, some consequences from the Royal Rangers come back to bite them all in the butt. The real Princess Andor shows up and took everything back, which I'm just sorry, my brain's a little farting a little bit from that thoughts, but still. So because of the fact that Shelby and Tyler dressed it up and say that they're royalty, the prince decided to confiscate everything, and throughout his whole time, he's acting like the stereotypic prince who's better than everyone, and I wanted to start apologizing to Chase after I heard his talking. No, I'm serious, this prince was so annoying, I wanted to apologize to Chase for how much of an a-hole he was reminding me of. And the prince made fun of Coda, which, using some of the jokes, was you raised in a cave. Coda's replying, no, I was born on a mammoth hunt. My mom couldn't make it to the cave in time. Which was a nice little which I agreed, that was a little bit of a nice, funny insult joke. And speaking the truth. So we got a little bit more. While the prince and his bodyguards were driving back, they got attacked by Sledge's people. His tech, his girlfriend, whatever the heck they're calling that thing, the mishap, monstrosity, and Fury. And what I found funny, that the prince's bodyguards couldn't handle those monsters, and yet 5 teenagers could take them on with no problem. That's what I find funny. So I'm like, so a normal civilian are getting being held down by these monsters. Well, hold like they're preventing something, while 5 teenagers are doing a. Just giving you the power of the energy makes you able to hold your ground and beat up monsters. Well, thankfully, Coda saved the prince, and the prince started to get some respect from him. Even when Coda said, he's nice to everyone, even if you're a jerk, because you have a good heart inside. This is why Coda is a little bit this is why Coda's number 3. If it wasn't for him with understanding about Coda, I wouldn't hate him as much. That's the only thing I hated. Well, during this time, Fury got the Energem, and what else? It was basically rubbing in all the people's faces of his team while they were trying to look for the Energem for what they stole. And at the same time, they finally turn on the Rangers and start fighting. And sorry, it's just really not that much with all that details. Also, I learned that the drill, the shield, and the sword could fuse together and form a weapon too. And now that actually makes sense when I was going to buy the Dino Spike online. It came in 2 separate pieces. The black and red, and the pink, blue, and green. That actually makes sense. Well, for some funny reason, Fury is about to use the power of the Energem, and the thing with him was coming out. And Tyler kept saying, Dad! 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 And I'm thinking, it's not your father, for Lord bloody sakes. Why do you think your father's a ranger of the Gold Ranger? He even ran up to him like, Tyler, I know it's been years since you've seen your father, but even his physical physique would at least let you know it's something weird. Okay, let me talk about Ivan. He seems nice enough. He seems like the honorable knight who will work to fight the enemies. But there's only one thing hopefully they'll fix in the later episodes, and it's the one thing that's getting on my nerves. His voice. No, not his speak. It's how he's acting. It's more of like William Shatner doing Shakespeare. I'm sorry for Europeans if you're offended, but I'm sorry, his accent's driving me up the bloody wall. I will see. I'm trying to remember right. I will slay these monsters, for it is my dream. So it is my goal to take them out. Oh, for Lord's sakes! Even he. Hopefully they'll fix that later on. What else do we have? Yeah, he fights off all the monsters, proving that he's a badass, like the usual traditional Sixth Ranger, taking them all out, blasting them all. And when he got into his Megazord to do all the changes from evil to good, all it did was click, click, removes the cloak. And that's it. It's good now. Man, at least with the Wolf Zord and, I'm trying to remember, Wild Force had some changes, and the White Ranger from Dino Thunder had some difference when it turned from evil to good. Oh well, it's not that much, but it's still good. And what I give him credit for, I'm surprised he known how to use his morpher that fast. Everyone else are like, huh? That's it. He was just already doing that. And now, and his morpher's also a crossbow? Well, whatever you call that thing. A mini shooter on his wrist, which is kind of cool. And then one of the things I will state is, also, for 800 years, I'm pretty sure Ivan spent that whole time writing down things he could say when using his powers, because of giving him all the powers of lightning for some funny reason. I know he's a Gold Ranger, but lightning? Didn't see that one coming. Yeah, I know it's Dino Charge, not Dino Thunder. That's another thing. But still, you know, he had all these lines ready to take on the enemies. So I'm pretty sure while the whole time he was inside Fury, he's doing the, ooh, this could work. I could use this when I get free. Well, besides his bad acting, he's more likely to end up going to do Thunder jokes. But the moment the battle was over and he just killed the monsters of 2 weeks ago, we'll go with, since he didn't kill Fury, all Fury did was just ran off. So I'm questioning what is Fury in the English version. And he knows who the prince was, and he was already bowing down, ready to accept bodyguard for this guy. Like I said, sorry, technical difficulties with this camera. I really need to charge it more or get a new battery. But yeah, I'm surprised he was able to know who this prince was, and all the prince did was gave him the energem, saying, "Keep doing your goal." And it's kind of funny now, an outsider knowing who the Power Rangers are. But then again, how do you know who the Power Rangers was? The moment he's seen them morph, they're like, Power Rangers. So there were Power Rangers before. We're not gonna. So just like how Super Mega Force was, there are many Power Rangers, which now causes some questioning with timeline and all that, since some Power Rangers were from the future, some took place in the future, and some took place in dealing with other stuff. I'm confused. Oh well. And the last thing that made me go, ugh, not this type. He'll feel like he's going to be a wanderer because he wants his freedom. Please don't be a wanderer and just only come in when it's time to battle. Because it would be kind of nice to see how Ivan would react with all this other situation, since he's been nearly sealed up for 800 years. It would be kind of cool seeing how he reacts to all this stuff and learning that a gun is better than a sword. Just, I don't know. How I feel about this episode? Really? I'm just happy that they finally showed the Gold Ranger. Though his acting's a little hammy. He's at least pulling the role right. And I don't know how they would act, how they would speak in 800s, but William Shatner doing Shakespeare would not be the first thing that come to my mind. Well, anyway, sorry about the technical difficulties and all, but that was my Power Ranger vlog. Break Free, which either sounds like an old video game or that one of those songs on DDR. Well, anyway, Rasta signing.